Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining this special class today. Basics of Bhakti Yoga. Today is Sunday, 24th May 2020. So I'll just pray my Guru Maharaj and then we'll start. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jai Pataka Swami Niti Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayane Ghar Katha Dhamadaya Nagar Grama Tarine Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सदी गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So bhakti yoga, this is two words. This is more in detail described by Shri Krishna in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. There's one whole chapter for bhakti yoga. So first we have to understand what is yoga, because yoga is a very, very misused word in the whole world. Anybody and everybody uses the word yoga. And basically what we understand mostly by yoga is some asana, Kukkutasana, Markatasana, so many asanas are there, Mayurasana, Swasa, anyway. And that is also yoga, but that is just to become fit, healthier, live longer. But in that yoga, there is no bhakti involved. You're not required to have bhakti, right? You are just required to remember the exercises, hold your breath, and so on. Yoga, Sanskrit word comes from yuja. Yuja means to link. So if there is no link, then that's not yoga. Again, link means what? Link to whom? When two friends are linked to each other, we don't call it yoga, right? Yoga is for some higher purpose. And that higher purpose is the absolute truth. And then we discussed in our basics for Bhagavad Gita, we discussed and we said that yes, it is Sri Bhagavan Ovacha, Sri Bhagavan. So unless we link with him, then there is no use of any yoga. Yoga means to link with the Supreme Truth, the Supreme Person. Supreme Person and Supreme Truth, they are same. There is no difference. He has various names, various forms and so on, but truth cannot be two. Same way, God cannot be two. We also discussed that also, right? So now, why Bhakti Yoga? Why not something else? Why not Karma Yoga? Why not Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yoga? Why not Sankhya Yoga? So many yogas are there, right? So many ways of linking. But amongst all this, the one yoga which gives us, and why do we do? Why the Bhakti Yoga, when we say, it's not devotion. This may be coming as a surprise. So why not probably devotion and Bhakti? No. Bhakti Yoga is devotion, but actually it is devotional service. Remember when we said, what is dharma of a living being, living entity? To love. And the moment we love, we serve. I gave that example that we cannot keep on telling somebody I love you and do nothing about it. The moment we say I love you, that person expects something from you. Not necessarily money or something. Some service. Some little minute service also. So the moment we say, we ask people, why don't you do some service? No. Krishna is in my heart. So I love him. He's in my heart. But then you don't do anything for him. Then what is that love? Meaning of that love? Love means exchange. We serve and Krishna accepts that and he blesses us. There's a tremendous power in blessing. Why do we need blessings of our parents, teachers? There's a huge power in that. Many things have been solved in the world by just blessings. We should never ever undervalue the bhakti. As I said, just the moment bhakti starts, seva starts. Our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, he never wrote only devotional. He always says devotional service. Mother says, I love you to the child expects. And the child also says, I love you too, ma. So mother expects also. Okay, you love me? Get me a glass of water. Just I'm giving some crude example. But same way, if mother keeps on saying whole day, I love you, and don't give the child the milk and whatever that child requires, then that child will not reciprocate. Husband, wife, brother, sister, everywhere is an exchange. And why bhakti seva again? Because that is the easiest way of connecting with somebody. You have some relationship with somewhere, okay? And you keep on telling, you talk about philosophy, you talk about so many things, I talk about analytical things, oh, you are like this, you are like that. But there is no action. So action done just for your own self is called karma, right? We do action. We try to satisfy all our senses, morning to evening. So that is karma. But the moment you do that karma and involve the Supreme Lord also in that, that becomes karma yoga. So karma yoga is nothing but bhakti yoga, right? Because why do we leave karmas for somebody whom we don't love? Karma is done for yourself only, maximum your family. And then you can say, oh no, I was doing some society and then nation and so on. So karma is for yourself. Karma yoga is for the Supreme Lord. And as I said, the moment he gets satisfied, then everything else becomes nice for us, right? Like the example given is about I told you this also, a tree, where do you water the tree? In the roots, right? When you water in the roots, then it reaches everywhere. The leaf is not saying, oh, you did not water me. The branches will not say that. But you try to do individually, then so much more effort. Incidentally, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, they're also bona fide. We are not condemning them. But with getting all the knowledge, by meditating and focusing, and you realize after meditation that, oh, this is the supreme absolute truth. Then actually, it is said in the Shastra that many times Bhakti Yoga starts when you end Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. So from there you know now. You understand, you realize, yes, again, Bhakti with knowledge is welcome. But just the worldly knowledge is not good enough for Bhakti. So that's why I said I'm just going to, because some of you requested. So I thought I will talk to you about this. And now the next question I'm sure will come is, okay, Prabhuji, we understand. I want to. Many of you got motivated, energized. So now you want to practice. So how to practice, right? Now we must remember that Krishna is God and he's also a person. And the most importantly, he is the only enjoyer. Only enjoyer in the sense he knows how to enjoy. He doesn't need us, actually speaking. He is having millions and trillions of servants all over the different universes, including spiritual universes, Vakunthas and so on. So there is no shortage. It's not that, if, for example, I'm offering some bhoga to him every day, and one day I don't give bhoga. So will Krishna die of hunger, or will he feel, oh my God, today I'm very hungry? No. He's even the bhoga that we are offering, any service we are offering is for our pleasure only, ultimately. Because when he eats and he leaves everything for us back, luckily for us, because my Guru Maharaj said that if Krishna starts really eating, then people will stop offering. So he is so merciful that he eats. And he gives his mercy, he puts his mercy into that by tasting our food. And it is said that Krishna's saliva gets mixed with that. And that's what it makes it more tasty. Because Krishna's saliva, Krishna's mercy. Prasada means mercy. In Sanskrit, prasada means mercy. So when we eat prasada, we actually even don't eat prasada. We say we honor prasada because this is coming from Krishna. And I'm sure, without exception, I can say with all clarity that everyone who is eating prasadam finds it really, really relishable. Right? Nobody would say that, no, I don't like prasadam. Sometimes the small little young children, 2-year, 3-year-old, they may say, because they are used to saying no to everything. But I'm just giving an example. The prasadam is one. We hanker for prasadam. As devotees, anywhere in the world, somebody says prasadam means immediately our antenna stands up. Come on, where is it? Because there's nothing but mercy in that. I'll just share with you one instance. When I was in Bangalore, for some few years, I was in charge of the prasadam distribution. So there, I'm talking of old time, 90s. So we used to distribute every day khichdi, yes, khichdi prasadam in a dona. I hope you know they're made out of leaf. And then we, get that big pot. And then all the devotees who come to the temple, they have to pass through this. And they are offered this hot, real hot khichdi. You're not careful, you can burn your tongue or fingers or something like that. So one day, I used to overlook that, arrange for everything and all that. One day, one person, I was standing there, so he came to me and said, "Sir, you are from the temple?" I was not from the temple. I was having my industry and I used to visit and serve. But anyway, why I tell him all that? I said, yeah, tell me, how can I help you? He said, "Sir, can you get me the recipe for this khichdi?" I'm not a cook now. So I use my common sense at that time. I said, "Sir, simple, sir. It just take water, put some rice in that, put some dal in that, some turmeric, salt, like that, few things I remember, jeera, like just as a give it shot, tadka, chance, and then let it cook, and then that's it." So he said, "Very simple. I'll try, sir." I said, "Please." So he goes and next week again he comes just to meet me. The moment he sees me, comes and says, "Sir, I tried, sir, but it does not taste like this." It does not taste like this. It was good, but first time maybe I was not expert. So why is it so tasty and that was not so tasty? I said, "You try one more time, because there may be some, you might have put less salt or more salt or something." So third time he came, he says, "Sir, no, sir, it's not coming." Then I just said, "Did you offer it to Krishna?" "No, sir, in my house there is no such Krishna Murti I have." And I started giving excuses. I said, "See, then how can it become tasty like this? This has been offered to Krishna and Krishna has eaten it." "Sir, you believe in that?" I said, "Of course. Otherwise, why it becomes tasty? Tell me, you tell me now." I gave the exact same recipe. So he could not believe it, but then he said, I will try. Next week he comes, from a distance, he started coming like jumping in the air and, very happy. Sir, not like this, but I got almost 50% like this. So that's a proof, that prasada. I mean, I'm just telling you, but I know you already have experienced it. Most of you would have definitely experienced it. So everything is in your action. Nothing else. Action. You cook for yourself or you cook for Krishna. What is changing now? Same ingredients, same everything, but your consciousness is changing. So bhakti means nothing but a game of consciousness. Instead of thinking of yourself, you think of Krishna, how to serve Krishna. And in the process, you get it. Like, as I said, if Krishna starts eating, people will stop giving. But Krishna is so merciful. And does he eat? Of course he eats. How can, we don't see him eating. Krishna doesn't require a spoon or hand or this or that or mouth to eat. He can. His body is a Satchidananda, totally transcendental. That means any part of the body can do work of any other part. Like when we offer to Krishna, he can eat with his eyes. He can eat with his ears. He can just eat with his flute. Even flute is transcendental. That is what is bhakti. That is what we have to understand slowly, that everything about Krishna is Krishna. And the biggest among all that is his name. Krishna and his name are not different. This is one science we have to learn slowly, that there is no difference. So whenever we say Krishna, actually we are getting in touch with Krishna. And then our acharyas, gurus have given us some mantras to chant, depending on which yuga you are born. For each yuga there is a yuga mantra. For this Kali Yuga, there is the simplest possible mantra. We call it Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So when we chant that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we are directly in touch with the Krishna. Directly. Some devotees say that when you say that, then Krishna comes and dances on your tongue. You can experience that. But not first day. Don't expect that. As our chanting becomes purer, and because purer meaning we don't have other desires. We are not chanting because, oh Krishna, I'm chanting now. Please give me, take out this coronavirus, or give me a job, or give me this, give me that. No, that is not chanting. That is a bargaining. That business is going on. Many places that's how it is going on. But we don't want that kind of business. We want our total involvement. And there are, if I start counting the benefits of that, I cannot complete in 1 or 2 or 3 classes. There's so many benefits. Over the so many years we have experienced all those benefits. And everybody will benefit. I mean, Krishna does not discriminate. We saw one quality. He is equal to all. For him, every single soul is dear. And he will reciprocate. So, this is as far as the basic of Bhakti Yoga is concerned. Okay. Now I will speak a little more, if you are ready. Otherwise, I can stop here also.
No, Prabhuji, we are ready.
Yeah. So I would.
Krishna Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can
please.
I ask now?
Yeah, please.
Prabhuji, I've asked this earlier also, but I wanted to know which dishes to offer as bhoga to Lord Krishna. Prabhuji, you had told me some side also, but nothing came.
Okay.
Before when I.
Yeah, just let me. So anyway, first of all, okay, let's talk about bhoga only today. But there's so many topics, So I will just talk to, because and mostly I'm seeing, mostly there are Matajis, few Prabhus. So it will help. Those who are doing it already, they know it.
Prabhuji, there is a question from one of the members, Prabhuji.
Okay, let me take your question and then we'll.
From in chat, Prabhuji.
Okay, I will check it. Ravi Teja. How would one realize that they are in Bhakti Marga of the Jnana Marga? As sometimes I experience Jnana in Bhakti and Bhakti is Jnana. So please enlighten. Okay. Okay, no problem. I'll talk about that. So let's talk about how to offer to Krishna, what to offer to Krishna. The first requirement is you have to offer to him with lots and lots and lots of love. That's the first requirement. Don't ever offer Krishna grudgingly. He will not accept, he will just simply not even look at it. Because remember, he's sitting as Paramatma with you. So your whole mood should be of love, bhava, full of bhava. Then second requirement is that you should be clean while cooking for Krishna. Clean meaning, please do not enter the kitchen for Krishna without taking proper bath, completely cleaning yourself. Nothing in the mouth. And then you ask for his mercy first. Oh Krishna, I want to cook something for you. Somebody told me that you like so and so and so. Today I'm trying. So please forgive me if I make any mistake. But my heart is in that, like that, Then, if you really see, again depends now what kind of bhoga you are offering. Is it a breakfast? Is it a dinner or lunch or just fruits or depending, you can offer anything. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Patram, some leaves like tulsi leaf, flowers, not for eating. Phalam Toyam. But the acharyas have described that Krishna likes 4 types of foods. In our offering to Krishna, which we call it as Raja Bhoga, like means full lunch or dinner, depending on your situation. 4 types. Chaturvidha. In our prayers also, Chaturvidha Bhoga. What are the 4 things? One is chewable, like your chapatis, paratha, whatever, puris, rice, chewable. Anything which can be chewed is called, that's one variety. Second is lickable, like chutneys, pickles, you lick them, right? Or sometimes you lick the yogurt also, dahi, curds. So lickable. Third is suckable. That may not be always possible, which you can suck, like this drumstick and thing like that. Many times we just suck things, right? Even the rice. In South India, I was there for 25 years. So you just suck the what do you call pappu also, pappu or anna, saru. Saru they say in Karnataka, they say saru. I think Tamil also they say saru. In Andhra Pradesh and Telugu, Telangana, they say pappu, dal. So that is suckable. And finally, drinkable. Some nice sharbat from fresh fruits or something, not artificial. Never, none of these things should be artificial. No processed food. They may be the best. So this is what Krishna has to be offered. Number of items are not important. You can do anything you want, depending on your capacity. So here is a clue for that. When you get Krishna in your home, first time, or even it's already there. For example, Krishna is already there in your home in some form. It can be a picture, it can be a deity, it can be made of metal or marble or stone or whatever. Or from China, the resin thing, something which is there and which you worship. So actually the process is that because Krishna is a person now, you should start talking to him. And then when depending on your, again, I'm just repeating that, depending on your capacity, depending on time available, because nowadays husband, wife both are working and so on and so forth. So depending on that, you promise to Krishna, welcome to my home. I will try my best to serve you. And here is the thing, I can offer you, because generally there are 5 times, some places, some homes, they offer it 5 times. But don't over promise. Promise the minimum and then you can give more, that is all right. But promise more and then not give, that means breaking your promise. So I will offer you in the morning breakfast, lunch, maybe dinner, some light dinner or no dinner. So depending, as I said, I'm not saying anything. So if husband and wife both are working morning to evening, then naturally you can say only evening. But that is minimum, basic minimum. And then try to maintain that, Pray to Krishna that please help me maintain this. Okay. And then while offering, there are some prayers if you want, or if you don't know the prayers, then simply chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times and offer it. And just request them to please. So what we do is, what we have been recommended is, we offer it through our Guru. Because initially we may not be expert, we may not be knowing. So we offer to the Guru. And we request the Guru Maharaj, Guruji, Gurudev, this is what I have made for Krishna, but I am not qualified. So you please, you are his dear servant. You please offer to him on my behalf. And then the Guru says to Krishna, oh Krishna, my Shishya, my disciple has made this for you. He or she is not expert yet. So they may have made some mistake. So please forgive them. And if there is any punishment for that, please give it to me. To whom? To Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj takes your punishment. What more you want in the world, tell me? Somebody taking responsibility for our problems? Right? So,
Prabhuji, what if one doesn't have a guru? Which then?
Doesn't matter. You just offer it directly then. You just say. You just say Krishna. You can also say that I have no guru. So I'm offering you. Please accept it.
Prabhuji, what is usually offered as bhoga at the temple, Prabhuji?
Temple, as I told you, if you go to Vrindavan, I'll just give you an example. Vrindavan, one time we sponsored the Raj Bhog. Raj Bhog means the one in the afternoon they give, n number of items. We have sponsored it. So what happens? That particular thali comes to you after offering. Because
yes,
you pay very high price, and then as a prasadam, as a gift, you get that. So one time when we offered it, I had to get 10 more people to help me. I just was standing there and calling people, Prabhuji, come please, prasadam. Because we saw, and we can't leave prasadam. You can't leave eat half and then put half in the fridge and all that. No, you have to finish. So that
what is usually offered at your place, Prabhuji, where the ISKCON temple that you are currently at?
No, we are not. I'm not at ISKCON temple. I am at home only. So we offer every day dal, chawal, roti, sabji, some sweet, something to drink. That is
Prabhuji, in one of the groups, Prabhuji, like they even offer cakes and all. Like when it was.
You make and give. I mean, not that you buy and give. You can make.
Yes, Prabhuji. But Prabhuji, do they add baking soda, baking powder, and all also? Is it right, Prabhuji?
It's okay. As long as it is not eggs and all that, no yeast, no egg, that's okay. Yeah, because that's
Okay,
how the cake is made, right? You can't
yes,
offer
Prabhuji.
Krishna something. Okay, Krishna, this is called cake, but it is not cake actually. That is more problematic than offering a cake. You can, for example, somebody asked me, can we offer ice cream? I said, why not? You eat ice cream happily, and why not Krishna? Make it for him. So many recipes are available nowadays, for everything. You can make a eggless cake. You can make a yeast.
Prabhuji, I make eggless one only, but Prabhuji, this is why I never offered it to Lord Krishna.
That's even worse than not offering.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so keep it simple. That's what I'm saying. Don't have to. On festivals, you can make, like, for example, every festival we offer 56 items, Chappan Bhog. So that's up to you. Anything more is good, but anything, you say, I will offer you 3 times, and then one time you are not offered at all. Then there is a difficulty. That means you are not keeping up your promise. Another concession available now, I mean, for our Kali Yugi people. Even when you are not home, you can still offer from wherever you are, because Krishna is everywhere, right? So you can offer to your deities from anybody's house, where you are, and you are cooked and all that, you can offer, and he will accept.
Prabhuji, like if I want to know the mantras that are chanted during...
I will put in the group. Just 3 mantras are there, that's all. 3 mantras, 3 times, and that's done. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, allow somebody else also to ask a question.
Prabhuji, I have a doubt, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Previously, you said that we should, while praying to Krishna, it is not bargaining. We should not ask for wishes.
Right.
How to do that? I mean, while we are praying, obviously we'll have a lot of wishes to ask. So, should we ask? What should we ask?
You start with that, no problem. Initially, you feel like, the thing is that you don't run around the whole world to ask everybody, Krishna can offer everything. So your desires are there, go to Krishna only.
Okay.
If you develop that slowly, Krishna is a magician. He will slowly take away all your desires. Not that he will not give you, but you will not desire anymore, because you are getting already what you need. You start seeing that, everything without even asking is giving. See, it's like this. This is what you are saying is just like a Christian prayer that, oh God, give my daily bread, right?
Yes.
Right? But do we do that? I'm asking now everybody. Do we say that Krishna, give me my today's annam, whatever, Do we ask every day? Do we ask for water? Do we ask for air? But are we getting or not getting?
Yes, we are getting.
Yes. Krishna will provide always what we need. But he may not provide you everything what you have agreed for. There is a difference between need and greed. Everything we need, Krishna provides. Even why to us? To all the animals, like from a small ant to a big elephant. Everybody gets what they need. Only human beings are the ones who are suffering because we are not following the rules of the law. We are made our own rules, and we have exploited everything, and we are manipulated, so we are suffering. Otherwise, why not? There's so much land and so much cultivation can be done, but now we have changed the situation. That's why now after this corona thing goes away, you will see people will have to change, because next time you cannot have again this kind of thing. There will be such a huge, we'll be wiped out, all of us. If we still continue to play, right?
Yes, Guru.
Yeah, you can pray, Prabhuji, you can pray, but as I said, not that you always go with a list. Okay, Krishna, wait, this is my offering to you, and here is my list. Not like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
Krishna knows what we need. Actually, he really knows.
Okay. Okay, Guruji.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Any question?
Prabhuji, my question is like, I heard from some lectures, like you must have also heard, because this statement pops up so many times. Like when we chant, we have to have that separation, the mood of separation from Krishna and Radharani. And Prabhu, so when I chant, I try to, most of the time my mind is wandering, but sometimes I try to think of their pastimes. But in another lecture, I heard that Prabhu told us we shouldn't expect anything from chanting, as well as we shouldn't think about anything, even the pastime. We should just simply just hear. And Prabhu, but when I chant, I think that I'm praying to get the service unto Radha and Krishna. But the other Prabhu said that there are different moods, so I don't know which is correct. So Prabhu, can you enlighten about that? Thank you so much.
Srila Prabhupada said, our Param Guru, he said that our chanting should be in the mood of a child crying for mother's milk. Okay. Meaning, what are we asking now? Our chanting should be the second one you said. Chanting should be the "Oh Radharani, oh Krishna, please engage me in your service." That whole mantra's meaning is that Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare means Radharani, Krishna means Krishna, Rama means Rama, or Rama also means Balarama. And please, please engage me in your service. So you are begging for service, because service gives us the highest bliss. Ask anybody who has been serving. Even not for Krishna, otherwise also social service. How many people love it, right? Little something is there, everybody gathers together, offering water, food. Now Corona thing is going on all over the world, and especially in India, every town has people distributing the temples and groups and so on and so forth. Now it's so hot in India, I'm told, but people are doing it. Why? Because they love it. Nobody can force us, Nobody can force us for service. We can always have an excuse. If I don't want to go, I can always say, oh, this is there, that is there, I cannot come, I will come next time, like that. So same way, it has to come from within. So chanting without anything meaning, because if you don't know what to ask, then don't ask. Better not to ask anything. Just chant, leave it to Krishna, right? But chanting for asking something material is at the lowest level. That means you are selfish also. You are not only selfish, you are asking something which you don't need also. So then it becomes a selfish motive. The best is to chant. And there is if you want, maybe what we can do is one Sunday, Sundays we can book for this kind of talks, so that I can give you different ideas, chanting and so on.
Which Saturdays?
Sundays. Saturdays off anyway, because
being greedy only.
Yeah, Sunday instead of the Bhagavad Gita, we can have this, and then 5 days we can have Bhagavad Gita. So that is because after this request today, I'm thinking like that, that it may help us. There is a lot and lot to learn. Those who want to progress in bhakti, lots and lots of subjects are available. All practical, no theory here. Okay. So I think now we should stop. Unless somebody has any question now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So that means no question.
Namaskaram Guruji, this is Kartikeya.
Prabhuji, there is
The
one
other day I
question
asked you a question.
Yeah, Prabhu, I will take it up. But today is already.
I'll wait, Prabhuji.
Yeah, don't worry.
Okay, Guruji.
I will not run away from anything. Don't worry. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Garima this
Hare
side.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you so much.
Prabhuji, somebody has
Hare
asked
Krishna.
difference between bhakti and jnana.
Yeah, I saw that. But it's a little long explanation, so
Okay.
I did not go today. I just saw that. So I will take it up. Don't worry.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can I ask one question?
Ravi
Hare Krishna
Teja
Prabhuji.
Prabhu, right? This is from Ravi Teja Prabhu. Okay, I'll tackle that. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Garima this side, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I just want to ask, like, many new people are here like me. So, how can we find a guru exactly? Like, you are there, we are listening to you, connecting to you.
Oh,
But, like, will it be continuing for future as well, or is it like for only for this
okay.
period?
Okay. Here is the secret formula I'm giving you.
Yeah, how can we connect to someone with
I'm
whom we
giving you.
can proceed with the same thing?
Mataji, I'm giving you a secret formula.
Ji, Prabhuji.
Don't tell others, okay? This is the way to spread anything. You know, just say tell anybody that. Don't tell anybody. So it will spread automatically.
But we are all
Formula
ears.
is that you should have a very, very, very strong desire in your heart to have a guru. And if your desire is strong, Krishna will send you a guru. Okay. Krishna will send you a guru, and as I told you, guru for life after. It's not for one lifetime. So you will get that. But your desire should be strong, because you know, guru will not come to waste his time, because you have some desire, but you know, the moment he comes, then you neglect him, this, that, so many things happens in the world. So if your desire is strong, I assure you that you will get a guru. Okay. That's the formula.
Ji, Prabhuji. Ji, thank
Prabhuji,
you,
your
Prabhuji.
recent explanation brought a question to my mind, Prabhuji. I had been wanting to get it answered for long. Prabhuji, like you have the desire, you don't have a strong desire now, but Prabhuji, like you are chanting, you are interested in chanting. But Prabhuji, like I learned about Nama Prad. So what about that, Prabhuji? Like one wants to chant, but there is the question of the offenses, and one is
The beginning, don't worry about that, because you know, it's like when you are in the kindergarten, then you do so many offenses, but the teacher doesn't punish you for each and all of them, right? They know that was the child. So
yeah,
same
yes,
way,
Prabhuji. I read Prabhuji, one person
yeah.
used to chanted for 2 years, and he used to chant many rounds, Prabhuji, almost 60, and it took him 2 years to find self-realized
So
guru.
see, it's a very, very personal thing. Somebody gets it next day, somebody gets it next year, somebody doesn't. You know, I know people who have been chanting for 25 years, and they still are struggling with their first round. You know, like, because they're not learned the technique. They're not learned. They're not trying to find out why I'm struggling like this. And there are people who are coming to the temple for last 30 years and they don't chant even one round. So that's okay. That's individual's case, you know.
Hare Krishna,
So,
Prabhuji, got
Hare-
it this right?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, like I joined a bit late. I don't know if this was discussed earlier. At times, you know, there are no previous thoughts, nothing. But while chanting, all of a sudden I start crying.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So this is, you know,
So,
I'm like crying relentlessly.
Yeah, there's a formula for that. They asked Srila Prabhupada, when I start chanting, I start crying. Prabhupada said, you keep chanting, the tears will go, don't worry.
Okay. So it's like there are no negativity associated, nothing. But all of a sudden, you know, tears
No,
start rolling.
no, this happens with individuals, you know. You are some, that means you have some relationship with Krishna, and you are now crying because you are remembering that how to forget Krishna. Hare Krishna, I think everybody is miking on. It becomes a night.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Garima this side again. As you said, that we can chant, because as a beginner we do not know the process of chanting, or if like the things which you have said today we can keep in mind and then start chanting. So is there any kind of procedure, or we can go on the same thing, like the things which you have said, that we should have basically kind of love and affection towards the thing, towards Krishna, so we can start chanting like that only, or do we have to follow some procedure?
No, don't worry about all that. Don't worry about it. Just chant, that is more important.
Sorry.
It's just like to sit,
don't use
like the way we meditate.
Yeah, see, that you should not use this as an excuse that, oh, I'm not able to chant properly, so I'm not chanting. No, that's not an excuse. Acceptable.
Okay.
Chant.
Okay.
Krishna will reveal from inside. Okay. So many wrong things we are doing. Go slowly.
So, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I think now the children are becoming impatient. Okay. Hare Krishna.